sense. Did y'all see that? The flare was on top, but the fucking that was weird.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Flintstones theme song trap remix podcast. I am your host, as always, Rogers Base. Joining me, we've got the main cast here this week. We've got Shofu.
What's Bob, and it's your boy Young Burn. I'm not gonna do the whole intro, man.
That's fine. That's all. They know who you are. We're watching on your channel. We got Zeph.
Right.
We got Coast.
Hey, Nintendo gamer.
Bro, what
we
the
got
fuck?
McDarrett. There we go. We got McDarrett, who just got doxxed by the Eagle Scouts.
Why'd you tell him that?
We were talking about it earlier.
He was telling you, not the whole world.
Well, he can tell the whole story on stream. It's fine.
Why would he tell the story on stream so they can go? Oh my god.
Well, they're not gonna. Okay,
what do you mean?
You can't just go get it.
Just go cut it from the VOD.
If I really wanted to get it, I could go get it.
Yeah, you probably could.
And there.
All right, we got Tito.
Okay, but you also know my name. It's fine.
Look, man, I'm at McDarrett's house right now. I'm outside.
Oh my god.
Like, you better pull up, McDarrett. I'm out here.
I'm outside his job.
We got beef.
And joining us this week, we were actually going to do a main cast podcast, but we got a very special guest who's like, yo, throw me on. And so now, welcome, Bam, to the podcast as this week's special guest. What's going on, Bam? How you feeling?
What's good, man? I'm feeling good, man. Just chilling. Ready to talk about these topics, bro.
Look,
yeah.
Bam is my Nigerian cousin. I gotta.
All
It
day.
doesn't matter, man. You know, so I gotta get him on here at some point. You know what I'm saying?
You already
Wait,
know, man.
who was the cousin that was on last week?
Oh, you talking about the Giannis? No. See, that's my African cousin. He's
Okay,
just
gotcha,
African.
gotcha.
Bam is Nigerian like me. You know what I'm saying? We got together,
We're
bro.
from the same tribe, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm his
All
head.
right.
We're from the same tribe, actually.
Vera? Okay.
No lie.
Next week.
And
boy, Viram
finally,
is here.
last but not least, we got Viram in here. Once again, one of the regulars. Needs no introduction. What's going on, Viram?
Hello, lovely people.
Hello.
Viram's here? When did this
Of
man appear?
course.
That's my boy Vera.
Just now. Literally
I like that
just now.
Coast said, oh my gosh, Viram's here, when Viram's been on the last two. Where have you been, Coast?
I've been under the waterfall training.
You're lying to me.
All right.
What a weeb.
And we got a lot of topics to go over, so let's actually jump right into this one. Of course, since the last podcast, Byleth has officially dropped in Super Smash Brothers. And I want to say this wait, before you say anything, I want to say this very briefly. You know, I was excited for Byleth. I'm somebody who really liked Fire Emblem Three Houses. I was excited about the idea of the monastery in Smash Bros. But I got to tell you, there has been no pain that I have felt greater in this community than Byleth Dittos on Quick Play. This character is not fun to me. And maybe some of you out there like Byleth, but I'm going to tell you right now, even as a Three Houses fan, I am not a fan of Byleth. And that seems to be the general opinion, but I want to know if there's anybody on the podcast
Look, bro,
that
I got
enjoys
you.
playing Byleth right now. Let's
I
hear
am
it.
actually starting to enjoy it just because I'm starting to understand the character more. Definitely not as bad as I originally thought. There's a few chosen ones that understand how good the character is and how good it could be. I'm not one of them, but there's people out there that think that character is busted, and they probably know some shit, bro. They out there.
Really? The only person I've
Alternatively, they
seen-
could be crazy.
Yeah, the only person I've seen saying they're a crazy character is Gimmer.
Well, Gimmer is usually on some other type of thinking, so.
Gimmer said he was labbing with her, so
Oh, yeah,
I
Gimmer
think
plays
that
Gamer Watch a lot of the
character
time,
is
so.
trash.
On Xanadu last week with going all bio.
Yeah, I saw
Yep.
Pink Fresh when
Yeah.
I saw Ryuga thinks the character's
Ryuga
broken.
too. Ryuga going crazy.
Like
I think
these
this character's
people
solid.
these people are woke, bro.
I think the character's solid, man. I think a lot of people initially wrote off the character automatically, but the range is that big where it does compensate for a lot of the movement speed, the lack thereof. So I don't know. I've been starting to flow things together too with the character. I've been having some fun. I think that like things like the arrows too, like people were initially like, oh, these things are so slow. But it's just something where if you're used to like doing some of the like extra cancels that they have now.
Yeah, I was gonna say
you
the
can
fact that you can cancel that shit is really good.
Yeah, I don't even use the
pressure
arrow
people
for
out.
attacking. I just cancel
Yeah.
it. I'll use it
cancels
mid-air.
are-
As soon as you press B, they're gonna do something. You force them to do
if
something.
you're
as soon as
mid-air,
you
you
pull
can
the
just
arrow.
you just jump
Yeah.
to cancel
When you can
it.
do the cancel when the shield doesn't even come up too. You can just press when you land, and you can do anything. So you can just run and dash and do whatever, or do an attack. So
They're very
sometimes
like bait and punish, I think.
The problem with that is that the cancel is slower than just about every other charge cancel in the game. And
Yes.
considering that the release frame is also not quick, that hurts that ability to pressure with that truly effectively down the line.
And I think that was the big reason why I didn't like playing them the first night on quick play, because so much of quick play is very laggy. It's not, and on top of that, when you're in dittos, the whole thing, like the very first night to me, felt like rock, paper, scissors, but just rock and paper, where everybody was either just shielding or attacking, and they didn't know like when to cancel at what time because of the lag. And so it was just like you would either get attacked or you would shield at the right time, and that was that. And so it really was not fun that first night. But this actually gives me hope, hearing from you guys that there are actually people out there doing cool things with Byleth. Leads me to believe that maybe if with a little bit more practice, I'll be able to play that character. I enjoy Three Houses, like I said. I've always been a big Fire Emblem fan, so if I can get some enjoyment out of playing the character in a setting that is not quick play, I'm down for it. Obviously, the one thing I want to talk about, because you guys know I like music, is the remix. The Honda remix of the Fire Emblem Three Houses theme is incredible. And the first time that I listened to that remix, I was like, what does this remind me of? It seems a little bit like Metal Gear. And then I realized that the guy who remixed that song is the same guy who did the Fortress theme remix from Mario 3, who also is known for doing the Metal Gear soundtracks. And so I was like, that's why. It sounds like a Metal Gear song.
So
Yeah,
that guy just got the sauce then.
yeah, he's got the sauce. He's amazing. Yeah.
Nice.
So I wanted to
The
shout
good
that out.
remix and good new tracks as well.
Yeah. Bringing in some of those classic Three Houses themes that everybody knows and loves.
Smash not win best soundtrack of the year at the Game Awards?
It wasn't even nominated.
Yeah, I think it was because they kind of felt like it was cheating because they're bringing in so many songs from so many other games.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. If they did that, it's not fair.
That is a greatest hits. That is curtain call.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yep.
great hit.
That's what I call gaming.
You know why they didn't win? They weren't nominated because of that trash ass theme song. That's what it was. That shit fucking trash.
McDareth's trying to say something.
I was saying, like, Smash isn't an original soundtrack, but somehow Death Stranding is.
Well, that was weird because Death Stranding had weird indie rock tracks in it and churches and a whole bunch of other
multiple
people.
songs, and it won.
Yeah, I mean, technically, if Smash shouldn't be nominated, that shouldn't either, because it's not from the game.
Yeah, I will say this. The reason I don't like the Death Stranding soundtrack is because of churches. And the reason I don't like churches is because, and I don't know if there's anybody who listens to the podcast who also watches this show. There's a show I watch on Netflix called Terrace House. It's like a reality TV show with 3 girls and 3 guys living in a house in Japan. I love it. And the theme song, Terrace House, not Terrorist House. No, Terrace. Terrace.
Well, I definitely thought I heard Terrace House. I was like,
No,
oh,
it's
that's wow.
definitely not Terrace.
Okay, not bugging. Okay,
I was like, bro, continue.
But I want
Tell
to
me
say
more.
Terrace House. I got to say, Terrace House had an amazing theme song the first 2 seasons, and then they got a different theme song for the opening New Doors season. And originally I didn't like it, but it grew on me. And then they got churches to do the theme of this new season, which is actually probably one of the best seasons in the history of Terrace House. But the theme song is absolute booty cheeks. Terrible. It's so
booty
bad.
cheeks.
It's booty
Anything
cheeks.
but booty cheeks.
Damn,
Booty cheeks.
butt cheeks, man.
So yeah, I
You gotta admit you're the okay. Hold on. Chat talk about I'm the minority on that Lifeline. Are you fucking serious? You think the Smash Bros Ultimate theme song is fire?
No, that shit
is fucking ass. The one with not the music.
I like
the one with the
metal.
girl. The one with the girl singing on it. That shit is
Oh,
terrible.
That's trash.
all right.
The
Well, the
lyrics,
Japanese
like,
version's pretty
the
good.
problem with me is the lyrics, if you listen to it, make no
Yeah,
sense.
They make
Like, she's
no
not
sense.
talking
And she's
about
singing
anything.
along with. It's just stop. Miss me, bro. That shit is trash.
Yeah,
Just
I
play
feel
the
like that
Japanese
is just
version.
random.
The
That's all you
music,
gotta
the
do.
music by itself is whatever. It's standard. I'm not mad at that. But with the vocals on top, miss me with that bullshit, bro. Please.
But I gotta say that the theme song for this, like da 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 da, is certainly more iconic than the previous theme songs. I don't even remember the theme song for Smash 4.
My
What was
problem
the
is
Smash
this
4?
theme
I thought
song
that was a
seems-
theme song for
Yeah,
Smash 4.
that's my
so-
There
problem.
was.
This one
No.
sounds way
What
too
was
close
it?
to Smash 4.
What was Smash 4's? Oh, that's right.
Actually, that was
Oh,
crisp.
yeah.
Actually,
That
was
shit
fire.
that shit way cleaner. That shit way cleaner, bro. That shit way cleaner, bro. You capping, bro.
No way. No. Lifeline's better than
Bro.
Fours for
Smash
sure.
4's
Brawl's
theme
is, I
song
like
was
Brawl's.
way cleaner, bro.
Brawl's was really good. Brawl's with the Odi for
Oh, of course.
That shit was
I
great.
mean, if we being honest, they all got a better
Melee's was
soundtrack
good,
than
of course,
fucking-
too.
They all got a better intro song than fucking
Yeah.
Ultimate. If we being really honest. here.
Yeah.
Every
Melee's
single one of
opening
them.
undefeated.
He's right.
I don't know if Smash 64 is a better one than Ultimate.
Way better.
Bum 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 ba-da-da-dun, da-da-da-dun, da-da-da-dun, dun,
I like
dun.
Smash 64
No
because it's
question
a
in
medley
my
of all
mind,
the
bro.
Yeah, 64 is just timeless, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying.
because it has Pokemon music, Zelda music, Mario music,
It's got
all mixed
everything.
in.
But that's how I feel about Melee. I feel like Melee's is timeless.
Of
Yeah,
course it
Melee
is.
is.
Mm.
You know which one
That's
isn't
probably
timeless?
the problem
Smash
never
Ultimate.
beat.
I'm already tired of that shit.
I like Brawls the most, but I'm just nostalgic.
Yeah, I think I'm probably a Brawl fan the most too. I love that music. But something that I don't love as much as Super Smash Bros. Brawl, but a lot of people love, is the Wonderful 101.
The
So I'm very
segue,
happy-
God. The
Wonderful 101
segue,
fans.
God, bro. He's here.
Who, now you guys, you've been asking for the Switch port of the Wonderful 101 last week. The rumor was floating out there that apparently there was going to be a Kickstarter set up by Platinum Games. I think our friends at Game Explain were the ones who actually broke the story. And then we found out today the Kickstarter went up and they already surpassed their goal. I think it was like $50,000 or something. Of course they were going to. And they already hit the goal for the PS4 version and the Steam version as well. And a lot of people were really confused about this at first because they were like, well, how is this game going to come to PS4 when it's a Nintendo property? Like, did Platinum and Nintendo, we know they share the IP rights. Did they just like buy back the IP from Nintendo? We found out that it's actually not the case today, that technically Wonderful 101 is still co-owned by Nintendo. However, Nintendo wanted to see Platinum succeed and allowed them to put the game on PS4. And that is, I think, that's unprecedented
That is
in terms
unprecedented.
of Nintendo. I've never heard them do that before.
Never.
And
That's fire, damn.
Platinum's, as a result,
what
Platinum are the
Bowser-
ones. Platinum's the one that are publishing these versions of the
Right.
game.
So they're self-publishing the game this time around. Exactly. But the thing that I think is interesting is that I wonder if Nintendo still gets a cut of the PS4
I'm
versions. Yeah, because to me, I think that actually makes sense. There were a lot of people saying, well, how does this make sense at all? And I think no company, no matter how much money they make, wants to see a game bomb and lose money on that game. And I think, this game notoriously bombed on the Wii U. Nobody bought the Wonderful 101. It was a good game,
I sure
but
did.
nobody bought it. I didn't either. I know
I
there's-
thought for like
But I-
considering how trash the Wii U sales were, I
Right.
thought that it sold okay.
Yeah, but so I think it was a hard sell to Nintendo to be like, hey, we're going to port this to Switch, and then even though we've gotten some weird niche games on the Switch, we got Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I think Nintendo was probably like, well, maybe you guys can publish this yourselves, and so that's what happened here. And obviously, it was to great acclaim. It's doing very well. Congrats to Platinum for the Kickstarter. But the one thing we got to talk about is that stretch goal where basically if you donate like $300, you can get blocked by Kamiya on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's anything after like $100 you get blocked. Well,
Yeah,
you
if
can
you want,
you can
if you
choose
want.
to get blocked.
Yeah,
you
it's
can,
like- it's
you can
optional.
choose to get blocked.
You
But we brought this up on the pre-show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we brought this up in the pre-show though. If you're already blocked by him, do you get the option to be unblocked, or do
That's
you
what
just
I'm
stay
saying.
blocked
You should
forever?
be. You should
should
be given
be.
that option.
Yeah.
I agree.
No,
I
because
agree.
what if he still don't ever want to see anything you say ever
That's
again?
true. I was about to say, yeah.
What if you said some fucked up shit?
He'll unblock you, and then you'll be like, all right, you got your reward. I'm gonna block your ass again.
Well, I might get reblocked for this. I think I already am blocked, but I'm going to get reblocked,
You're blocked
unblocked, and
by him?
reblocked. I am.
Why
Well, let
would
me
you get-
explain why.
why did-
I'm going to explain the whole story.
Roger?
So, yeah, let me explain.
Roger's toxic, guys.
No, come on. We're not going back to that Luigi's Mansion Friday thing from a couple episodes ago. We're done. So what I was going to bring up is that at E3, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago, I had actually met Kamiya in person. And he was a super cool guy. I did like an interview with him for VG Tribune. And then he was following me on Twitter for a brief moment. And then like unfollowed me and then was tweeting things at me. And I forgot what the exact tweet was, but I'm sure people can go in the Wayback Machine and find this. He tweeted out something about like whose mom would make him a bowl of spaghetti for dinner. And I said, my mom would be happy to make you a bowl of spaghetti. And then he tweeted back at me, I don't want your mom's spaghetti. And then I tweeted back, why not, bro? And I got blocked. So that's why I got blocked.
Well, yeah, if you speak English at him, you will probably get blocked no matter what you say.
But I will say this. I will say this. I then, 2 years later at E3, met him again at the Nintendo booth. I think this was for Bayonetta 2 or something. I forgot what it was for. It might have been like, maybe the first time I met him was during the Wii era, like the Wii PS3 era, and the second time was the Wii U era. Either way, it was at the Nintendo booth the second time that I met him. And I told him that story, and he just laughed about it. And he was super cool and really nice, and clearly held no grudge about my mom's spaghetti tweet. But I'm still blocked. So Kamiya,
I think he does it. I think he does it off instinct. Like, doesn't think
it's
about
definitely
it.
a character. He doesn't, Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people who definitely deserve the block for sure.
Yeah.
But
it all started from Smash.
Seriously, yeah, it's more of like a badge of honor when you get blocked by him.
There's like a documentary that like shows him and like his blocking process or something. It's not. It might not be a documentary, but there's like an actual video on YouTube that goes like in depth of how his blocking process goes.
He's a cool guy though. I like him. For just $100, that's it. Pay $100 to get blocked on Twitter. But yeah, Wonderful 101, looking pretty cool. Coming to the PS4 as well. I think there's rumors of like a stretch goal for an Xbox version as well. Would be kind of cool. I think there's also like some other stretch goals where you can get the wonderful Wonder Red jacket or something, and the Wonder mask.
It's expensive.
Those are pledges, very expensive pledges.
What is the pledge then to get the jacket? It's like $2,000 or something outrageous, isn't it?
That's it.
1,600.
I'm just playing.
Man.
Yeah, I was like, dang.
in pounds, it's 165,000 yen.
Whew. I feel like I could just hire my girlfriend to make the jacket. Yeah. Dang. Well, Wonderful 101. A lot of you guys are happy, and that's cool. And somebody else who's also very happy, I got to bring this up, is Nintendo. I don't know if you guys have seen the Nintendo financials, but man, Nintendo has been doing good. They are killing it. So,
right now.
let me actually pull up the exact page. I'll link this to Shofu as well, so you can see the financial data information. You can throw it up on the screen. There it is in the private podcast thing. Oh, actually, I clicked the wrong thing. Here we go. It's this one. But no, it's in English. The whole thing's in English. You could switch between English and Japanese. So basically, we got the updated sales for all the games this year, as well as lifetime sales for the top-selling games on the Switch. And real quickly, I just want to go through the top 10 best-selling games on Switch as of right now, sitting at 22.96 million copies sold. Number one, we got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Coming in at number 2, we have the best-selling fighting game of all time, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, sitting at a clean 17.68 million. Well, yeah, if you don't include all the other Street Fighter things that Sakurai brought up in the last one. But on its own, it's doing very well. Coming in number 3 with 16.59 million, we've got Super Mario Odyssey. 16.34 million, we've got Breath of the Wild. And then just behind Breath of the Wild, the game that was boycotted and that was never going to sell, we've got Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield.
Been out for 2 months, bro.
No money.
Don't buy the game, bro.
16.06
It's only sold
million.
that many because people buy both of them. We know that.
Exactly. But on top of that, you know this is going to get a boost with the expansion pass coming out this summer.
Yes, sir.
And it's going to get a boost with that news that there's a new Mythical coming out on the 23rd. And we have the second version of the expansion pass. So Sword and Shield, obviously, when we come back to this list later on this year after the next quarter, it's probably going to sell even more, probably surpassing Breath of the Wild. We've got, right after Sword and Shield, we've got Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee at 11.7 million. And then we've got Splatoon 2 at 9.8. I also like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, by the way, Zeph. You were not alone. Splatoon 2 right afterwards. We've got Super Mario Party at 9.1 million.
That's a fucking scam, bro.
That's a bad game. That's not a good game.
No. It's a fine game in person. It's a fine game in person.
No. I played it for the first time at a Christmas party last year. That shit felt like Mario Party Mini. It was like a mobile game. I hated it.
God.
I definitely like Super Mario Party more than the last few, just because it's more of a return to form. Like you actually move around the board. You're not in a stupid car. But I think it also
They
is
cut
just,
everything in half.
It's the
I
first
hate
one
it.
on Switch.
10
Yeah.
coins for a star. You start with 5 coins. The boards are all small.
Yep. Then we got, surprisingly enough, under Mario Party, the next one, the 9th best-selling game on the system, sitting at 5.85 million. We've got New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. And then after that, at 5.37 million, we've got Luigi's Mansion 3, aka Chrissy Teigen's favorite game on the Switch.
Let me
go
say rest in
Luigi.
peace to a game real quick.
Let's hear it.
So there's a game on this list that I'm surprised isn't here and was outsold by Mario Party, Mario Bros. U, and Luigi's Mansion 3. Mario Maker fucking failed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Well,
I'm very
actually,
surprised
so
it
I'm
wasn't
glad
mentioned.
I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to do a very quick comparison to the best-selling things on Switch and on Wii U. Mario Maker, the original Mario Maker, sold 4.1 million on the Wii U.
Yeah.
And actually sold below on the Wii U Mario Kart 8, Mario 3D World, Mario Brothers U, Smash Brothers, Nintendo Land, and Splatoon. So really, if you compare it, because I think Mario Maker, it still sold like 5 million something copies on the Switch.
Something also you got to remember is it cost Nintendo literally nothing to make it.
Yeah, right. So realistically, that's not that big of a bomb. I think there's a lot of people who are looking at the exclusion of Mario Maker on this list as a bomb. I would actually say more than anything else, it speaks to the success of the Switch that Mario Maker didn't even make it on here. And that we've got
They
all
can
these
still
other games
save the
selling.
game too. Like
But-
literally all they need to do is release an update and include like Mario 64, and everyone will play it again.
Yeah, and we've got Animal Crossing on the way. Animal Crossing's coming. We know that there's going to be a big holiday game coming this year as well. Whether that's a Mario
Can we
Odyssey,
talk about
Paper
that?
Mario, whatever. Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So we're gonna talk about
these rumors
direct
got me
predictions.
kind of feeling
Me
strange.
too, but I think you probably saw my videos, Zeph. I don't want to get too hyped. I don't want to do this to myself again. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, really quickly, another interesting comparison I wanted to bring up is Smash Bros. Ultimate has already outsold Smash on 3DS and Smash on Wii U. So in just the small time that it's been out, it's already outsold both of those. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is, again, a port of a game that came out on Wii U, is the best-selling game on the Switch with 22.9 million sold. And to put that in perspective, the original Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, which was the best-selling game on that system, sold less than 9 million copies. So the fact that they just ported this game over with all the DLC and a little bit of added content just goes to show that really they're probably sleeping on making another Mario game. Maybe they will make another Mario Kart on the Switch, or they'll do a Diddy Kong Racing or something. But I imagine that if this is making them that much money, it'd be, a real shame to not release another one.
So I have to admit,
Yeah.
because I'm pretty sure I said on here that I thought Smash would just outsell Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Yep. And another quick comparison I want to make too. Another quick comparison I want to make is Brawl. I mean, we already know this because, again, Smash Ultimate is the best-selling in the franchise. But Ultimate 17, Super Smash Bros. Brawl on the Wii. So, again, this is during the peak of the height of the Wii success. Sold a grand total of 13 million. And Mario Galaxy, the original Mario Galaxy, which was the 9th best-selling game on the Wii, sold 12.7 million. So Mario Galaxy. Mario Odyssey has sold 16.5 on the Switch after just 2 years, which is pretty incredible.
So they get money then.
They're getting money.
They're getting money for free.
Didn't Switch console sales just beat one console recently as well?
So Switch, I think, beat the Xbox One, which wasn't really a huge surprise.
It beat
It's
another,
creeping up on
another
the-
Nintendo console.
It's creeping up on the PS4.
Yeah, it's on track to
still
be
got
the
ways to
fastest
go,
selling
yeah.
console of all time. So
Yeah. So
What is it, 52 million?
You're right. So right now,
Yeah,
it's
around
sitting at 52.48 million units sold, with a grand total of 310 million units of software, which is mind-blowing. And it's already surpassed the sales of course, the N64, the GameCube, and now the Super Nintendo.
That's what it was. Yeah, it surpassed the Super Nintendo recently.
Yeah.
So,
So,
go ahead.
I was just going to say they are within 10 million units of the original Nintendo, which is also pretty mind-blowing. And the next one after that will be, I think, a handheld, the 3DS at 75 million, which I have no doubt that'll eventually surpass, considering all the games on the Switch have already outsold all the best-selling games in the 3DS and their respective franchises. So, yeah, Switch is absolutely killing it right now.
I also kind of wanted to zone in on one particular. Like we were making a joke about it earlier, but
Sure.
16.06 million for the Switch for Pokemon Sword and Shield. If you want to compare that, I mean, the game has been out what now? Maybe
2 months?
2.5 months, maybe.
Yes.
Yep. 2.5 months.
So 2.5 months, the game has already sold 6.06. Now, before I ask this question, I just want to give everyone some comparison here.
Yeah.
So the top 5 best-selling Pokemon games ever.
Yes.
Is number 5 which is Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald with 22.5 million.
Yep.
Then it is Diamond, Pearl with 24.7, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon with 24.8, which is wild to me.
Wait. Oh, actually, so that sales figure is incorrect.
So that's between Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon.
And Ultra Sun. Yeah. So to clarify, I actually have the sales on the website right here. For 3DS, the best-selling Pokemon game on 3DS with 16.4 million is Pokemon X and Y. Lifetime sales. So if you put that in perspective, again, that's 16.4 million for X and Y, which is the best-selling on the 3DS. Sword and Shield has already sold 16 million, so it is no doubt going to surpass that game. Yeah. And considering the install base of 3DS, that's pretty incredible. And the best-selling game on the DS combined sales figures lifetime in terms of the Pokemon franchise was Pokemon Diamond and Pearl with 17 million. So again, that will also no doubt outsell Diamond and Pearl as well. It has already outsold Black and White. It has already outsold Sun and Moon. It's already outsold Oris, and then of course Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So
now the question is that I have based off those numbers and thank you for correcting me because these numbers.
No worries. I got you. I needed to correct you just to make sure so people know that Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, which is the worst game in the franchise, did not sell that much.
Right. I just want to make that's why I was very confused. But it's combining both. So
don't give that game any success. All right.
But the question is now is that sales figure for Pokemon a reflection of the game itself, or which is very unlikely, or a reflection of how successful the Switch is?
I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest with you. I think there was a little bit of a boom with Pokemon Go in terms of, Pokemon coming back into fruition. We had, Sun and Moon that came out around the same time. So a lot of new Pokemon fans, classic Pokemon fans, were getting back into it. But I think the Switch is sort of firing on all cylinders, right? It's reaching that mainstream in the same way that the Wii did. It's getting a lot of old school gamers, people who maybe didn't pick up a system.
Gamers.
N64, gamers in general, picking up a system that they haven't picked up in a very long time, who maybe this is their first Pokemon game since they were kids, since, the original Ruby and Sapphire or Gold and Silver. So I think that's a big reason for it too. And I actually think the press that Sword and Shield got, all the negative attention, all, the boycotts and the decks and everything, because it was in the news so frequently and people were talking about it, I actually think that did help Sword and Shield in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think actually it's simpler than that. It's just the very fact that it's a new main series Pokemon game, and Pokemon has throughout, ever since release really has been consistently doing incredibly well. As you mentioned before, we look at the first versions of literally every generation. It's always around 16, 17, 15 or so million for those first 2 versions. And so this, to be honest, is just kind of par for the course regardless, because Pokemon is just that big of a franchise. People are just going to buy it.
Yeah,
right, for sure. But I think it is worth noting that based off the approach, now I do think that they will release in 2 or 3 years. It might take a little bit longer. They're definitely going to release like a Super Sword and Super Shield or whatever. But
I really actually don't think they are. I think looking at this now in these sales figures, I feel like they're going to build out that expansion pass.
I was going to say,
add stuff to that and boost these sales numbers, because they'll have the title like, this is the best-selling Pokemon game of all time or whatever, because it'll consistently be selling throughout the course of the year with new content and built out almost like a platform. I think if anything, to go along with what you're saying, I think they're probably going to do a Diamond and Pearl remake. Is my guess at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
And that will also sell incredibly well. I mean, if you look at the fact that Pikachu and Eevee, like those games are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th best-selling games on the Switch, just goes to show that I think if they end up doing a remake of Diamond and Pearl, it's at minimum going to do what Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee did.
No, like for sure. And also
minimum.
It's like changing it's a different change of the business model if they commit to the whatever the
Yeah.
pass, because now they're not going to be looking at individual game sales over like they're not going to be able to combine Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon. Now you have to buy the game and then buy everything on top of that. So they actually probably will make more money doing it this way than they would releasing a whole game, because a lot of people don't want to buy a whole new game. Like it's easier to want to buy an expansion pass on a game they already own than it is to buy a whole new game.
Yep.
Yeah. That's how people make money nowadays, right? You want to at least do that, or microtransactions. People have found that's just more fruitful when you already have that initial install base and you work on that, rather than going out and hoping that they go and buy another title. So it's a good play on them. I mean, they're making money hand over fist with the install base they have for Switch. So they might as well just keep pushing to keep breaking in that money, and people can keep complaining and giving them more, viewership so they can get more money.
That's money.
Very correct. The other weird thing looking at these financial sales too is if we're not going to get another Mario Kart on the system, it seems strange to me that they wouldn't want to continue building out and supporting the best-selling game on the system by making more DLC for Deluxe. Because they've pretty much said at this point they're not going to do that, right? That time has passed. They added more DLC very early on in the Switch's life cycle, but that was pretty much it. So I do wonder if we're going to get more Mario Kart 8 DLC, or if we are going to get a new Mario Kart game or a Diddy Kong Racing or whatever.
I feel like if that one sold this much, they definitely could just make a new one and get all those sales again.
Well, then, you know what? Let's just get into it then. I know Zeph wanted to talk about it. Let's get into it. So there have been a lot of rumors floating around over the course of the past week or so of a couple incoming directs. Now, the big one floating around, which I think most of us believe, it just makes sense, is we're going to get a mainline Nintendo Direct during February, in addition to an Animal Crossing Direct, focusing on Animal Crossing New Horizons. Right now, there's still a lot of information that we need to find out regarding New Horizons. We haven't seen anything about holidays or patterns yet.
Press release, though?
Well, that press release released like 250 renders of these new Animal Crossing characters, in addition to what else was in it, Zeph? Do you know what else was in it?
This is gonna sound. I know when you're not an Animal Crossing fan, this shit sounds fucking stupid to get excited over. But you can finally build stairs outside.
That's right.
So that's kind of big for Animal Crossing. They confirmed like a lot of weird small shit, like a lighthouse. There's like a concrete path you can make instead of just dirt. I'm worried that their patterns aren't gonna be in. To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good. Well, the one concern for me is holidays, because that's something that we've seen all these renders of all these characters, and even if you zoom in on the back of like the Switch that's there, they have the special edition Switch that got announced, which by the way is like one of the sexiest special edition Nintendo systems I've ever seen. We've got like the seafoam green Joy-Con and the light blue. They
are selling them individually, but only in Japan.
Oh, really? Wait, I mean. Yeah.
They're selling the dock and the Joy-Cons individually.
Nice. But what I was going to say is if you look on the back of that special edition Switch and some of the characters that are outlined there, you don't see any of the holiday characters. And you haven't seen any of the renders for the holiday characters either, which I'm wondering if that's going to be something that maybe they're just going to wait until the holidays happen to show us any of those characters. Or they just assume that it's a foregone conclusion that, of course, Animal Crossing games are going to have holidays. But I am genuinely worried about that. Because, the whole thing.
I don't think there's a reason to
Tropical Island. Okay, well, good. Patterns, I am a little stressed, though.
In one of the trailers, I swear to God, we saw snow.
We did. But that's a season, though. That's not necessarily a holiday.
Yeah, I'm just saying, though, if there's snow and stuff, I'm assuming they'll add Christmas. Like, it's been in every game.
Well, one thing I think we can pretty much guarantee is if you look, again, at those sales figures we were talking about earlier, Wild World on the DS sold 11 million. We've got on the Wii, Animal Crossing City Folk, I think did like 9 or 8 million.
Clean game.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Animal Crossing New Leaf, which I think was the best selling in the franchise, sold 12.4 million. So I have no doubt that Animal Crossing New Horizons will most likely sell minimum 12 million, if not more, on the Switch. But I'm excited for it. I think it looks really good. And I think we all expect an Animal Crossing Direct. So we're not going to focus on that yet, because I'm sure we'll probably have another Japan time by the time the Animal Crossing Direct rolls around. We'll talk about that. The thing we do want to talk about now is the other rumors going around regarding this upcoming Nintendo Direct. There is a rumor that keeps popping up about a potential return to form Paper Mario game coming to the Nintendo Switch as their big holiday game. And it would make sense that they would have a Mario game for the holiday. You know, there's been a Mario game almost every holiday since the Switch's release, or one that they could push during the holiday season, like last year with Mario Maker. But we've been burned on Paper Mario before, so I was going to ask you guys, what do you think of this rumor? Do you think we are actually going to get that return to form Paper Mario that people have been wanting for so long?
I believe so. Because, okay, so I'm a super big Paper Mario fan. Like, literally everything on my Twitch channel is all Paper Mario themed. I could tell you anything about any of the games. I enjoyed Color Splash because the battle system, it was getting there. It could have been good. They fucked up like Nintendo always does. They have something great, and then they drop the ball somewhere. But it's kind of unrelated because the Paper Mario not creator, but the person that makes the games now said that they're done with the sticker star formula and they want to try something new. And an RPG would be new for them, the developer, because they only started on sticker star.
So you think they want to actually prove themselves?
The Switch, like the games on the Switch, all seem to be pandering heavily to the fan base of each individual title. Like Odyssey was crazy, Breath of the Wild, open world Zelda. I don't know. I think Paper Mario will be fine.
Man, I hope so. I'm somebody who really likes the original Paper Mario 64. I think we've even talked about this on the podcast before. 64 is, one of my favorite games of all time. So if they're anything like that original game, I think we're going to be in for a really solid title this holiday. But the rumors don't stop there. There's also the rumor of a 2D Metroid game to finish off this Nintendo Direct, which actually kind of makes sense considering we don't know what the Samus Returns team has been working on. And we figure Metroid Prime 4 is probably still a long way off. So it would make sense to sort of maybe give the Metroid fans a little bit of something. And maybe that could be one of their holiday games as well. We've got rumors of a bunch more Wii U ports, not including this wonderful 101 one. There's rumors of Pikmin 3 and Mario 3D World being the two that Emily Rogers was teasing a while ago. That could potentially be shown. Maybe some more ports of other third-party games that people would want on Switch, things like Persona 5, Nier Automata. That would be kind of cool as well. Maybe some information about Shin Megami Tensei 5, which we haven't heard anything about in a very long time. And so things are looking pretty good. I would not be surprised if maybe by the next Japan time, we're talking about what gets released during the next Nintendo Direct. Maybe that'll get announced tomorrow. We'll see. I don't know.
I think it's going to be really soon.
I think it's going to be really soon too. Just a hunch.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think?
What's that thing where like every 4 years they make a Paper Mario or some shit?
It's been every 4 years since Sticker Star.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need that.
Yeah,
they need to hurry up with that.
So what do you want in a Paper Mario game? Like in a return to form Paper Mario game, what are the big things you really, really want to see?
I want another brand new area. Like going to places from the Mushroom Kingdom's cool, but give me like a totally foreign place like Rogueport to start off in. Maybe instead of fuck that, make it like Odyssey and just have a bunch of stuff we've never seen before in Mario. I'd like to see some Paper Mario versions of Odyssey enemies, like
I was just gonna say, or the little like skeletons with sombreros, or the what are the name of the Chivarians, the little fat seals, the roly-poly seals.
The something they could do, they probably won't do, but I think it could work pretty well. Is if Paper Mario had something similar to Odyssey's capture mechanic.
Okay.
I think they could do something cool with that.
Shofu, what do you think about a Paper Mario game? You've been awfully quiet back there.
Bro, I don't give a fuck.
You know what the fuck a Paper Mario is? Like,
I played the last Paper Mario for like 30 minutes and I was out of there. I didn't give a goddamn about that.
You gotta start with one of the strong ones.
I have no opinion on Paper Mario, basically.
What do you want out of a Paper Mario? Like, if you have no opinion, what would it take for you to care about this game?
It's fun.
I'm just curious.
I don't know. I just I'm indifferent, bro. I'm indifferent. If I played and I like it, that's all it takes. I don't know. I played the one on the, what was it, the Wii? I think it was the Wii U. That was the last one, right?
Color Splash?
Color Splash, yeah.
I fucking played that shit for like an hour and that was it. Like I wasn't really interested. But I wouldn't call it a bad game or nothing. That's just not my cup of tea, I guess.
Yeah. Fair enough.
You feel me?
I'm feeling you. Is there any game you expect to see in this Nintendo Direct? Because I gotta say, Shofu, your predictions, whenever you predict something, usually it seems to come true. So I was wondering if maybe you had any
Because
insights.
I don't randomly say things. I try to at least have some kind of reasoning behind it. But no, I don't have any predictions. Honestly, I don't.
No predictions?
I just want No More Heroes to come out.
So that seems like something we're definitely going to see during this Direct. There's another trailer for No More Heroes. I'd be shocked if we didn't get more information on that.
We don't have a date for that, right?
I think they said it's 2020.
Oh, I know.
They've confirmed that it's this year.
Yeah, but we don't have a date yet.
Yeah, we don't got an actual date. Okay.
That kind of seems like a
I feel
June
like
date.
I'd probably know if there was a date.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully
they
it
could
comes
do
out
a
earlier
summer
than
game.
later. That'd be great.
Yeah. And I'm thirsty for that, like a real No More Heroes. I played Traffic Strikes Again, and I wasn't a huge fan. It was just like
that game fucking sucks, bro.
Oh, that shit
game
is
is
ass.
trash. That game is so trash.
That game is ass. I was mad hype. I was like, oh my god, people gonna know who Travis Touchdown is. This game about to be clear. That shit was fucking trash.
Nah. I remember watching you play it too on stream.
Bro, I'm saying I was mad hype. I was like, yo, I'm about to play this on stream. Yes, sir. Bro, I played that game for about an hour. I never touched it again. That shit was trash.
Oh no, man. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Christ.
Well, one thing that is absolutely not trash is Xenoblade 1. And so it seems to me that we will most likely be getting a release date for Xenoblade Definitive Edition during this Nintendo Direct. My guess is like April or May. But what do you guys
that
think?
game did not age well. Fuck.
Yeah, the original Xenoblade, like I say it all the time when I talk about it. I love
Free.
Xenoblade so much.
Segway.
I'm used to this. It's my job. I'm the host. I gotta do it.
That's not even how you spell segue.
How do you spell segue?
You spell it like with a U. It has a U in it.
He has a U.
S-E-G-U-E.
Yeah.
S-E-G-U-E.
Look,
Oh,
man.
yes.
That's it.
That's right. The way you spelled it is like the actual thing, the segues that people ride.
Yeah, you're right on.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, aren't they both? I thought it was spelled the same way.
No, it's not.
They're
No,
two
it's
different
Segue
things.
is like how segue is spelled. It's like S-E-G-U-E.
Oh, I'm just confusing shit. You got it.
That's all right.
I'm just getting shit flipped around, bro.
But yeah, Xenoblade, I feel like, again, that seems like something that will be in this. I think it's a little too early for the Monolith Soft IP. I think we talked about that on a previous episode, actually. It's probably just a little bit too early to show that off. Anything else? Like, Coast, what do you think is going to be in this Direct? We haven't heard from you yet.
I think you pretty much said everything I think is going to be in it. I think, yeah, Xenoblade. Like, there's not much else. Maybe that Monolith, that other Monolith game. Maybe that Bravely game, the Bravely Default 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aside from that, honestly, I expect more like announcements of stuff we haven't heard yet, more so than news about stuff they announced.
Do you think we'll hear more on maybe the Breath of the Wild sequel? Because they have said nothing about that.
I don't think they're going to talk about that.
That feels like an E3.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Nintendo, when they bring up their major IPs, they don't touch them until there's major events or anything like that.
Yeah, I think we talked about this actually previously on Japan Time this year. Was that Breath of the Wild 2 seems like it could be the holiday game for this year, but I feel like
there's another rumor
if it's the
about
holiday
that.
game, exactly. I feel like if it's the holiday game, we'll see it during this, and if it's not during this Direct, I think we're going to see it at E3 for release next March. I think it'll be like their big sprint game next year, similar to the original Breath of the Wild, and maybe they'll launch it alongside a Switch Pro next year or something. Because they said there's no plans for a Switch Pro this year. That was another news story that came out in the past week. Is Nintendo outright said there is not going to be one this year, which Nintendo is a bunch of liars. They'll, do it if they want to do it.
I want to say they said that when the Lite got announced.
The DSi and the Lite and a bunch of other things.
The DS was the worst one ever. Oh my god! They released the Nintendo DS with backwards compatibility with the original GBA, and they said the DS is not a successor to the Game Boy Advance.
Back up,
they're separate consoles.
Hey.
But the other thing that was brought up in a lot of these rumors, which I don't like to call this guy out because sometimes like
Call him out.
Have it. Do it.
So there's
Call his
someone
ass out.
Someone on Twitter named Sabi. You know who I'm talking about?
That's
Sabi.
his best friend, bro.
So
Please
Sabi is
stop.
apparently
Please.
saying, I want to bring this up though because I think it's a good discussion.
Talk about it. Talk about
I
it.
think it's a good discussion. Is Sabi mentioned that there might be a game involving tires in this Direct as well, which
That sounds
kind of goes along with what we were talking about.
Yeah.
It goes back to another leak.
Well, what was the other leak?
From I think it originated from Zippo, who isn't a shithead.
So who is it?
He's just a dude that leaks stuff, you know. He's just one of those dudes. They've been talking about how I think Breath of the Wild 2 wasn't progressing that well, so the holiday game could be a Mario Kart. I think I don't know if it was Zippo who said this, but there's something about Mario Kart turning into Nintendo Kart now, where it's another crossover game.
That would
like
be
Smash.
I would love that.
Boy.
If they end up
And
doing
to
like
me, it
Nintendo
makes perfect
Kart
sense
trailers,
as like the next evolution after 8. Like, what can you do?
Yeah. Because I mean, just think about all the hype that gets built up every time there's a Smash reveal trailer.
Right, they could do the same thing for
Nintendo
Mario. Yo, that'd be
Yeah,
so
And you know
incredible.
you never mess them up because they're just driving.
Yeah.
Good shit.
And people would be, I guarantee you, people would be hype if they do Nintendo Kart. We get a trailer, and maybe instead of like the little Smash Brothers cross, we get like skid marks across the screen, and then it cuts right into the trailer, and like we'll get an F-Zero one with Captain Falcon and like Samus and the gunship or something crazy like that. I think there's a lot of really neat possibilities for Nintendo Kart. But the thing I was going to bring up, which I haven't seen anybody talking about, I think everybody thinks this is going to be a Nintendo game. We've been getting a lot of big games ported to Switch. I feel like the tire thing could hint to a port of GTA 5 because GTA 5 is the best-selling game of all time.
Stop.
Why not? Why not? Because it's the best-selling game of all time.
It's
on
going to
360.
look like ass on the Switch.
They have a 360 version of the game. Bring over the 360 version on Switch. It's going to look better than the 360 version.
Okay, look at the Switch version of Witcher 3 and tell me that's
exactly.
But I'm not saying it needs to look good. I just think the idea
it needs to function too.
It'll function. I think it would function. I think there is a way that they could make that game work on the Switch and make it function.
Figures?
Maybe. Am I crazy?
Yes.
The chat seems to think so. The whole chat's against it. Everyone's saying I'm lagging. Roger's capping. Wow.
Captain Roger.
All right. Well.
You win some, you lose some, Roger.
That's
the
fine.
chat is definitely wilding.
That's
Not
fine.
every swing is a hit.
That's fine. I was trying to think of a segue and I couldn't. Let's just talk about Bayonetta 3 because that's probably going to be in this direct too.
You think so?
I will bet
didn't
you
we hear about that game like
$20. It won't be in this direct.
Yeah.
Really?
$20.
I will bet you $20. It won't be in this direct.
Because part of me is feeling like with that platinum website they launched today with Wonderful 101, that one of those 4 games.
Actually,
is
that is
Bayonetta 3.
true. I'm going to retract that statement.
That's exactly why I feel like it's gonna happen.
I'm thinking with that. Speaking of which, I'm thinking that they're gonna drop some big announcements like Drakengard 4, maybe a new Nier game.
I would not be shocked if Nier comes to Switch. That's something we've been talking about for a long time.
Yeah, that could come too.
Like that's a possibility. Or, maybe they'll bring back Scalebound and self-publish it. That was something that a lot of people really seemed bummed about when they canceled that game. That
would be
What was that weird ass rumor about Scalebound where it was originally a Wii title? I remember I brought it up before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's some shit about that. I can't remember. It's ancient, but you could probably find info somewhere.
I mean, I know Shofu and his brother would absolutely lose their minds over a new Beautiful Joe.
Most people would, I
Co-published by
think.
Capcom and Platinum.
But where's the Beautiful Joe Kickstarter at? Like, what's going on, man?
I hope that more companies and just people with like dead IPs see what Platinum's doing and follow suit.
Yeah,
I mean, you even had that too with the what's it called, Fighting EX Layers too. Like they did some stuff. They're like, dude, we're just gonna make a game, and if people can like help us, or buy the DLC, they'll be good. Like that, a lot more times nowadays, people can go ahead and kind of revive these old IPs. And they don't need to make like a AAA title every single time. It could be something that's just like nice and fun, and people enjoy it. So yeah, for sure, I hope more does do that. Yeah.
Hey, Snowboard Kids is clean. Bring that back.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
Snowboard
free.
Kids Kickstarter, man, it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
The
for Mike
weird
because
thing
he's not
about
here,
this-
but
go
Glover
ahead.
Kickstarter.
No, stop. You're off the podcast. Goodbye.
You said what?
Oh,
You're out of
I'm
here. That's out. He's gone. I had to take him out. He's gone. No Glover. We can't bring back Glover ever.
Hey.
Glover's gone.
End of an era, man.
Oh, wait, I got kicked out too.
Hello?
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Yo, what's going
What's
on?
going on? People were getting jammed.
They both have power. They move at each other.
Wait, Wait a minute, what was that? How did I get kicked to the chaos thing?
Dagma.
The heck?
Are you good?
I'm
Are
good,
you
I guess.
okay?
That's
I'm
okay.
fine. Yeah. You know who's not okay though? Nintendo fanboys. Let's talk about this. So basically, I wanted to bring this up earlier during the Wonderful 101 portion. I am so confused about the people who are mad about Wonderful 101 coming to PS4. Because I saw so many people on Twitter, back when this was a rumor, before this eventually got confirmed later today, who were so upset about the fact that this game is coming to PS4. And I don't get it, because I understand.
Look, it's not even that complicated.
I'm going to make my piece. I understand being upset about like multi-platform games not coming to Switch, right? Because portability is awesome. Like being able to play a Nier or a Grand Theft Auto or something would be cool. But why would you be upset over a game that launched and bombed on a Nintendo platform, coming to the next Nintendo platform, and also coming to another system? Because the only thing that's going to do is going to build out the install base for that franchise. So the Nintendo fans are still going to get it, and the Sony fans will get to try it. It makes no sense. Like the idea of the console wars in 2020 seems ridiculous to me, because Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft, they're all doing different things. Just buy all three of the systems. Or just stick to the one you or get a computer and a Switch.
Buying all three of the systems is not the answer ever.
Well, then get a computer and get a Switch or something then. But like, just the idea that people are so mad that this was coming to another system when it's already going to be on the two that people care about anyway.
Look, man. Like I said, it's not even that complicated. If you mad that you get to play your game on your Switch, but also. No, sorry. If you're happy that you get to play the game on the Switch, but also mad that other people get to play it on PS4, you're a clown. You don't need to talk about this.
Yeah, because people were going so. When Bayonetta 2 was announced as exclusive for Wii U, there were like meltdowns all over the internet, and I understood that because Wii U was a platform that didn't have a lot going for it, and Bayonetta was a franchise that was originally multi-platform. So there were people, Sony fans and Microsoft fans, who were pissed that the sequel came to Wii U. I understood that. But this just makes no sense. This is like a situation. Is this game like never would have come out if not for this?
Yeah, it's the exact same situation as Bayo 2, where Bayo 2 wouldn't have existed.
Yeah.
Oh well. Bunch of weenies.
Everywhere. You can't escape.
Everywhere. Also, another topic we want to talk about in terms of weenies: Pokemon Home. Let's talk about Pokemon Home.
Pokemon Home. Wait, God. Nah, I got this one. You know what I'm saying? I got this one. You know what I'm talking about?
Take it, Shofu,
now,
please.
Listen, bro.
People want to hear from you.
Now, they announced Pokemon Home. It's coming out this month. They said it's $2.99 for a month, $5.99 for 3 months, and then $16 for the whole year. All right. Now, I think people are legitimately upset. I think they have a point that they're just, it's not, it doesn't match. The price doesn't match the service. Because you still have to pay for Pokemon Bank. Who echoing back there? I can hear myself talking. I
don't hear
echoing. I don't hear anything. Yeah,
I heard myself for a second. Anyways, we good. But people are mad because you have to pay $16 a year for Pokemon Home when you can't even transfer all your Pokemon over because all the Pokemon aren't in the game. So they're just gonna be sitting in there for who knows how long. And then on top of that, you still have to pay for Pokemon Bank. I can swear to God I can hear myself. I swear to God, bro.
I don't hear you.
It might just be your room. You're echoing in your room.
No.
No, I think I hear through your mic.
I swear to God, bro. It's throwing me up. Anyways, but other people are mad, or other people are not mad. People are saying that it's perfectly fine because, $16 a year ain't shit. So those are the two sides. I think they're both right. But I still kind of side with the people that are upset that they even have to pay for this service just because it's not worth the money. Why are they charging $16 a year? Like, it's just unnecessary, if you ask me.
So the thing I don't really understand, and I was wondering if maybe you could clarify this for me. In order to transfer your Pokemon, you have to have a subscription, right? But in order to move them to the bank, can't you just use like the 1 month that's $3? Transfer all your Pokemon? Like, do you
pretty much?
Yeah, you can.
You're not able to transfer every single one of your Pokemon.
But what about in the future, though? Like,
But
just
that's
depends.
my point, though, is that if they're already in the bank, right? Say, for example, you spend the 1 month, you transfer them, and then you transfer the ones you want to play with into your game, and that's it. And you just leave the other ones in your Pokemon home until the next time that you resubscribe.
So you pay for bank, you put all your, or you pay for home, you bring all your shit from bank, you cancel your bank.
Exactly. Like, you don't need to pay for all of these, I don't think.
Pokemon Bank is going to be free.
Is it? I thought you still had to pay for
is it?
I'm pretty sure they're let me see.
I don't remember hearing that.
Because if Bank is free and you only need to pay for 1 month, really, in order to transfer all your Pokemon over, if you can do it in the course of 1 month, it's $3.
Bank is free for 1 month, they said in the chat.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's free for a month.
But that's only good for the people that will never touch those earlier games ever again. If somebody at any point plays a previous game and wants to transfer the shit over.
But then how often is someone going to go back and play Sun and Moon and X and Y now that Sword and Shield are out and they've transferred everything over? Like, what would be the incentive to go back? Because if they did want to do like a Nuzlocke or something, or do a series, you know what I mean?
I agree with you, but that's not going to be true for everybody, especially considering how many people play Pokemon. Not only that, the free version of Pokemon Bank is what Pokemon Home is what people are actually mad about, because that shit is so trash that you pretty much have to pay for that shit. They included
I understand the $16 thing that people are upset about that, because I would be too. I would never pay $16 for that. But for like $3 to do all the transfers and then be done with it, that's pretty good.
I wish the lowest version of it was just that. Why did they include that free version that's so completely trash that it pretty much incentivizes you to buy the actual...
You just answered your question.
Right. No, but that's I know why they did it, but it's just like it's like an insult to my intelligence,
trash.
bro.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
It's so fucking trash. There's no way I'm not paying for it.
My only concern is that, like, with the basic free one, right, you get 30 Pokemon that get inserted, and then the premium one you get like 6,000. It's obscene difference. If you transfer 6,000 Pokemon into Pokemon Home, and you're paying that $3 a month fee, and you transfer, like, let's say 2,000 of those Pokemon into your Sword and Shield, the other 4,000, if you say I'm not going to pay for Pokemon Home this month, don't disappear off the server, do they? They stay in there.
They stay there until you pay again.
The next time you pay for the premium and then you transfer.
Yeah.
So again, why would anyone pay for the 12-month $16 thing and not just pay like month to month and use it the 1 or 2 times during the year they're going to use it?
I mean, like I said, man, that's probably true for most people, but it's not true for everybody. Like, some people are probably going to be doing some shit where, you know, they might need to transfer more often. Who knows, though? I don't know. I'm not buying
those people got to get jobs, man. They got to get jobs.
It's not the money, though. It's the principle. It's the principle.
The
service is not worth the money, period. It's just, it's bullshit.
Yeah. Well, speaking of things that aren't worth the money, let's talk about Temtem a little bit.
Wait,
my God.
Can we move on? All right.
That's what we're moving on.
There's something else that's not worth the money.
Okay.
A subscription, and it's 7 times more expensive than that.
What are you talking about?
Oh, Fire Emblem?
Yep, Fire Emblem Heroes.
Oh, yes. Oh, talk about this. Yes, please talk about this.
Oh.
So what exactly is going on with that Fire Emblem Pass thing? I've seen a lot of people really freaking out about it on Twitter.
For their anniversary, this was their anniversary video. They announced they're doing this Fire Emblem Pass, and it's $10 a month, so $120 a year.
$10 a month, bro?
Yeah.
What?
What?
Yeah.
All right, what else?
So you get skins for, like, right now there's just 2 skins for, like, Lynn and Cordelia, but they're not just skins. They give them permanent +2 to all stats, so it's a power creep.
Okay.
You get auto repeats, which should just be in the game. You have to pay.
Yeah, they're locking quality of life.
You have to pay for auto repeat?
Yes.
That's trash.
It's like auto repeat. You can have more supports with you from your friends. There's a bunch of stuff that you should... Okay, I found it. So you get 10 orbs, 240 divine codes, do heroic grails, Aether stones, which is stuff for the game. The 2 heroes +2 all stats, 2 additional summoner supports, be able to redo turns in single player modes, and auto repeat are all locked behind this.
And this is how much a year?
$10 a month, so $120 a year.
And this is for heroes?
But yeah, this is for Fire Emblem Heroes.
Good. Drain their money.
Dude,
Why?
Do you play Heroes at all or no? I'm assuming you don't.
No. I stopped. I stopped 2 years ago.
Dang.
Yeah, I used to play and I stopped before this.
Because I still play it all the time, but I don't ever pay for it. I feel like that game gives you so many orbs and things already that's like you never need to pay for it.
Well, that's how it begins, right?
Well, it gets
No.
me. Hold on, I think
I'm not addicted to it. I mean, I've played it almost every day for 2.5 years. I've never paid for anything outside of one event to get the Kamiya bathhouse thing because it's Kamiya in a bathhouse robe, and I wanted it. And I wanted to guarantee myself, using my Twitch money, Kamiya in her bathrobe. So I paid the $50 to get the orbs or whatever. That's the only time I've ever done it ever.
Yes, hey, let him.
I respect that. I
do.
respect
That's
that.
it.
Man.
The only time I was like, I want Kamiya in her bathrobe. She's looking kind of nice. That's it.
Hey, talk to him, man.
So everyone's saying
Big booba luba bang bang.
They said that was free. Oh, but you wanted to guarantee. All right.
I wanted to guarantee it exactly, so I bought all the orbs. So
many people wouldn't have the strength as you, man. Most people, they go and they play after a certain amount of time. I mean, these guys are breaking it down like now, these days with all these gacha games, period, right, to a psychological level where they know if people play X amount of hours, sooner or later they're going to spend some money, which is why they do a lot of these things in the first place. So, I mean, that's godlike that you've been able to play for like 2 years and then like buy like one thing. Like most people who would play those games for that amount of time are not going to be that, and they bank on that. Like if everyone was like you, they would not do those games because they'd be like, "Wait, I didn't," they wouldn't be making.
Me, it didn't. For me too, it didn't even really feel like I was paying for anything at that point because I put so many hours into the game already at that point, like 2.5 years of playing. That like to me, I'm like, I've been playing this free for 2.5 years. It's like, and I put more time and more hours into that game than a lot of games that I paid $60 for. So it didn't really, to me, seem like, oh, this is crazy that I'm spending this much money. It's like, okay, now I'm actually putting the money back into it that I feel like I got out of it. But I think it would take like some really crazy thing. It would take like swimsuit Emperor Edelgard with a dual unit Kamiya kissing each other for me to put another $50 into orbs in that game. I feel like that's the only thing that, that I would spend money on again at this point.
Man, Edelgard all day,
easy.
man.
It's
Shout
so
out to
easy
that
get
all,
those
by the way.
orbs. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with Heroes. Is like Heroes, the way it's made, it's very easy to get units. You can make any unit good, basically.
Yeah.
So like they try to shoehorn you into new units by changing arena. So it's like, okay, I just won't do arena. And like they just release super broken units to try and get people to spend.
Yo, hold on, wait, hold on, I gotta wait. Reagan, are you in the kitchen right now? Reagan, come over here real quick. Hold on, because I see this chat. Hold on, Reagan,
Chat's
get on mic real quick. Hold on.
Talk to
Tell me right now. So my real life girlfriend.
Yeah.
Would you pay money for Edelgard in Fire Emblem?
Yeah.
100% yes.
Yeah.
How much money would you pay for that?
Oh, I don't know.
We'll put it, I said I paid $50 for Kamiya. How much would you pay?
Oh, I would pay $50.
Wait, you said
wouldn't
that?
pay $50?
You said $50
in Heroes?
Well, because it's like, how much was it for 100 orbs or something? It's like $50.
I don't know. Do you want me to look it up?
Yeah, look it up real quick, because that's what I paid when the Kamiya thing was added in.
$50? You paid $50? Oh, you horny.
No, but how much? Because I know you've paid for orbs before, right? Here's the mic real quick.
I've paid like maybe $15 in orbs when I wanted that festival dancer Olivia.
Oh, but you still did it.
Yeah, like $15.
And you didn't feel bad about it because you were like, you know what? It's one character.
No, because I wanted the Olivia.
Exactly. It makes sense for that.
Wait, okay, let's see.
All right, how much is it for?
I'm looking.
I'm about to get outed right on stream for spending a lot of money. Hold on.
You know, it's crazy because like that sounds like a lot.
We
but
don't
you
all
think
make
like the
YouTube money.
You think of like the whales for this game, and they are
Oh, they're done. I don't
spend
No,
hundreds, thousands.
orbs, it's $40. For 150 orbs, it's $80.
Okay, so I definitely did not spend the $80 one.
So you
that would have
probably
I would have cried.
$40.
I spent $40.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was $40 for 70.
Okay, I think I spent
Get
$20.
the receipts.
No,
I know people who've done
Look
that
at
in a
my
week.
PayPal. He said
So
get the
you
receipts.
good.
I'll
You good
look at my
amount.
PayPal. Thank you, my love.
Blue is way bigger than that.
All right.
A 10 pull in Grand Blue, so to pull 10 times is $30. You have to pull 300 times to guarantee a character, and people just pay straight up to do that.
Well, I'm glad that McDareth pulled up this chart because this is what I was going to look for. Shofu, if you want to put this on the screen because this is insane.
Because it's insane how well this game is doing compared to everything else, but they're pulling this sub bullshit.
Okay, but if this game is making $656 million,
God damn.
The other mobile games are not even close. Not even close.
Then obviously these whales that are putting all this money into Fire Emblem are the ones that are going to pay $120. Like they know that these are the people.
They can do it because people will pay for it. Like people are
Imagine paying
going to
$120 for a fucking PNG file.
That's wild, man.
I'm about to go on the Fire
I
Emblem
feel
Heroes
better
wiki
about myself
right
that it
now.
was 40 and not 50 now. I feel happy about this.
Like,
I'm about to go onto the
Dragalia
Fire Emblem
could
Heroes
probably
wiki right
be
now.
higher.
Look at all these PNGs.
Dragalia would probably be higher because there was an interview that came out that Cygames said that like we could make Dragalia more predatory, but Nintendo told us not to.
Right. And
So,
Dragalia is a new IP as well. So it's the kind of thing where like Dragalia is not built upon an Animal Crossing or a Fire Emblem or a Mario Kart. That speaks to how garbage Mario Kart Tour is, by the way. The Mario Kart's only done 86. Like
That's because they charge $40 for Diddy Kong.
Oh my god.
I think the reason why this happened, by the way, is Pocket Camp added a subscription thing. But Pocket Camp subscription thing is actually good. And it doesn't lock like crazy shit behind it. It just like gives you more stuff and that makes life easier a little bit. So Fire Emblem probably saw that and said, we could do that, but since we make much more money, let's ruin the fun for everybody. And lock quality of life features behind a paywall.
That's outrageous to me that they're locking
Dr. Mario
auto repeat under it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, none of us are playing Dr. Mario.
I go from 76 million to 4. What the fuck?
If you just look between Fire Emblem and Dr. Mario, that's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, how polarizing it is. I'm very curious to see what Nintendo's next plans are for mobile games because they really have not been able to find their mark outside of Fire Emblem Heroes. And like that's just been straight
Dragalia and Animal Crossing are still successful. I would say like 123 million is nothing to scoff at, you know, but those three, Fire Emblem is just so substantially above the other ones. I think if they really want to capitalize on this might be controversial that I'm saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I feel like the people in Japan, the whales, like the mobile game whales who spend money on stuff, I think would be very likely to spend money on a Splatoon type mobile game.
Oh yeah.
With polls with like outfits for the Inklings and stuff. I feel like
100%.
a Splatoon
mobile game would be
really
awesome.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they would make it, if it'd be like a Clash of Clans type thing with Inklings and Octolings or whatever.
That'd be kind of sick. That'd be sick.
Yeah. But I do feel like if they're going to do another one, which I'm sure they will, because again, this makes them a lot of money, Splatoon does seem like the one where they could really make a bunch.
Isn't there like a Splatoon announcement coming up soon or something? I swear I saw that on Twitter.
There's a rumor of a Splatoon spin-off happening.
That's what it is. That's what I saw.
Oh, really? What kind of, like for Switch or a mobile game?
I don't know. It just said a spin-off. So it'll probably be a new genre. It could be mobile.
That actually would be cool. They did a Smash
wait a minute.
mobile one, like Teppen.
Oh, Smash Mobile would be kind of cool. Yeah, I'd like that. You mentioned a spin-off game, Splatoon. What if the tire game that people are alluding to, what if that's a Splatoon racing game?
Would Nintendo try to compete against themselves?
Well, think about it where Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is their classic kart racer. And if the Splatoon racing game is similar to like CTR or Diddy Kong Racing, because I feel like the Diddy Kong Racing brand in today's atmosphere would not do as well as like I feel a Splatoon racing game would do. So I do think it's possible that they could like do some type of spinoff. And there was that image for New Year's with like the Salmonids.
Yeah.
So maybe it involves the Salmonids in some way. Yeah, I don't know. What is this that I'm looking at that's in our call?
So that's Pokemon Masters. I was trying to, because like Pokemon Masters isn't counted here because it's a Pokemon company, so it's not directly.
Sure.
So I was trying to find like, this is the most recent one I could find of like how the spending in that game is, and it's just, man. Because it came out, did really well. The first month it made 33 million, and then it's been down
because the game's trash.
They haven't really done anything.
The game is fucking dog.
Yeah, there's no content. All you do is grind for the next thing, and again and again and again.
Yeah, that's what kills me is every time they put in new stuff, they then make it grindy on top of it. Like the Mewtwo event was a fucking travesty. That pissed me off. I couldn't believe that shit. And then they made the next ones better, but it's like you still have to grind a shit ton to use this character. And then they put in sync grids. It's like, oh, we're making worse characters better. But what they did is they made it so the sync grid, you need to have pulled that character 3 times to get the actual good skills in the grid.
Oh.
So like,
damn.
I don't
I stopped playing that game a long time ago.
I heard so many people were hyped for it.
I never
too.
touched it.
That's a
Y'all
shame.
heard that Zinnia remix
It was
though?
pretty fun for a little while at least. I like the
Yeah, the
combat
music is
actually.
so good.
Uh-huh.
That game's soundtrack is slept on. If you don't play Masters, go listen.
I'm sure you could just look up like a playlist on YouTube of Pokemon Masters
Zinnia's
music and then
remix theme is so good, so good. I like it a lot.
I don't like how it has the Gen 3 battles.
I don't care about that part. I just like the part of her theme.
Yeah, that's good.
While we're still on the topic of mobile games, McDareth, I know you've been playing a lot of this too, and I figure since you're the resident mobile game expert, let's talk a little bit about Dragalia Lost, because Dragalia Lost, third best-selling Nintendo mobile game or in terms of global player spending, just did a Monster Hunter event. The second part of it, I think, is starting tonight, right?
Yep.
And the first part has already been out for a week. I gotta say, it's been a lot of fun. What have been your impressions of this Monster Hunter event in Dragalia?
Good. Like, if you like Monster Hunter, just play this event. Like, you don't have to keep playing Dragalia, but play the event because it's literally Monster Hunter in Dragalia. It's so good. The characters they put in play like I love Greatsword, and Berserker is literally a Monster Hunter Greatsword in Dragalia. And now they're putting in Cerise in the Mitsuhune outfit, and she's gonna play like a bow. So most characters no characters in Dragalia, when you charge their attack, they can't move. But because you can do it in Monster Hunter, they're letting her charge her 4-strike and run around at the same time. So I can't wait. This game's so good.
Yeah, I love the music tracks in particular. I feel like I was really blown away by the menu remix that they play, where it's like a mix of the quest screen from World, but also with like a little bit of the Dragalia theme thrown in there. And
yeah, the title screen is really good, but I love
the title screen too. Yeah.
Every time they do a crossover, although the Mega Man crossover was shit, I'll say.
Yeah, that was garbage. That was garbage.
But they always do like the sound effects when you click something from the game. Like everything is so good.
I'm thinking about it now. We're talking about Dragalia. Maybe a Dragalia character will be in the next DLC. Because
I want it.
I'm thinking about another Nintendo first party. I know we already did the rankings. We're talking about Smash Bros, of course.
Yeah,
So you're alive again. You're alive again. We're done talking about mobile now. We're talking about Smash Bros. Technically still mobile though, Shofu. How would you feel about the anime swordsman from Dragalia Lost being in Smash Bros DLC?
Miss me, bro.
He could
Miss me. You
Hey,
fucking serious?
So do you guys think that Gino could have a possibility with this old as Paper Mario and everything going on?
Bam, I will ask you to go back and watch the episode from last week in which we covered every single possible character that could be in Smash Bros. We said yes, but it'd be highly unlikely, but yes. But we absolutely covered every single Pokemon in that last episode. All of their, not Pokemon, what am I talking about, bro? It's late. Every single Smash Bros. Potential character in that episode.
Where you are, calm down.
Rank them by tiers. Okay, I've also been up since 4 and drove 5 miles. What am I saying?
You ain't gotta explain shit to this guy, man.
5 hours from Sacramento to Glendale, bro. I said 5 miles.
Damn, you were in my neighborhood. That's crazy.
You could just say that you're tired. It's definitely not late.
No, it's not late. It's not late. I meant late as in I had a stroke, bro.
It doesn't matter. Go back to what you were talking about.
We got late for your internal.
It's a prank. 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 All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I feel like we pretty much covered everything. That's pretty good.
Let's talk about how we did more Japan Time episodes this year than we did last year.
Have we officially?
No.
No, hell no.
But this is getting close.
I'm pretty sure we're getting there.
And yeah, before you're about to talk about Temtem, before I came in about Fire Emblem.
Oh yeah, you never finished what you said about Temtem.
Let's talk about Temtem a little bit. Who's played it?
Me.
I played it before. When I played it, it was in alpha still. Pre-alpha.
Yeah, it may as well still be.
So what exactly is going on with that? Because I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying that like the servers are down and now people are getting banned. Like what's?
Well, there are a lot.
Oh, they went back on that.
They got a lot more people playing it than they expected. I know that. So
The servers when it first opened up, there were like over 20,000 people trying to join or something.
So they capped it. I think they capped it, or there was like a certain amount of people that could play at once.
Yeah,
So a lot of people couldn't get on.
Increased.
Yeah.
So with the banning people, so what's happening is that, and, you know, they're treating it like pretty much every major MMO that I'm aware of, where if you find some stuff and you're abusing it, that like that's one thing. But if you happen to find a glitch, and then like they because the game is small enough for them to be able to detect every player and what you're doing. So it's not like they have like millions and millions of players. So if they see you like abusing some stuff, like some people were abusing stats, some people were abusing leveling, they'll ban you, and then they went back and was like everyone was like complaining about how did I get banned, and then so they went to Twitter. I was like, guys, we went over literally every account that we banned, and all y'all definitely were cheating. So,
but it's an exploit in the game, isn't it?
No. So what happened is
no, it's a program. It's an external program.
Right.
Oh, okay.
It's an external program based on the fact that the game isn't done yet. So, they're basically abusing that in the game. So if you do it and like by accident, or if you do it once, they're not going to ban you for that. It's the people that are doing it repeatedly.
Now, what exactly are they doing?
So there are some. So the big ones that I'm aware of, where there was an area of the game where you use a program to level up because leveling in that game is actually very difficult. Like compared to any other Pokemon game.
It's stupid.
Yeah,
it's stupid.
Really?
It's really difficult.
It's like a shitty ROM hack.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's the level curve is actually fairly difficult, and I want to get into like two specific mechanics that aren't related to this, but in a little bit. But the game is surprisingly very difficult. So the beginning of the game, you are incentivized not just to grind, but to explore and catch stuff, because your levels actually matter. Like for example, the first gym leader, everything's like level 20, but like level 20 in that game is the equivalent of everything being like level 40 or 50 in a Pokemon game. It's actually insane. So and your money counts, and there's a bunch of stuff. So people were abusing that. They're abusing the leveling system to be able to basically breeze through the whole game. They were abusing the fact that like you're able to get better stats on your mons, like through not only through leveling, but basically being able to get exactly what you want whenever you want. Like they're basically doing all the things that anybody in any MMO would do. It's just Pokemon. And then they were like, hey, we're going to ban you for doing this. And they're like, why'd you ban me? And they're like, because you were doing this.
That's it.
So don't do that. I mean,
Makes
basically,
sense
those
to
are
me.
two. Yeah,
But like some of the reasons for cheating, obviously some people are just lazy, but Temtem makes it really fucking hard to do anything. Like everything costs so much money. It takes forever to train Pokemon. Tems, sorry. It takes forever to train those. It's just, I don't know. The game's, it's a chore.
Like for example, and this is a mechanic that I've discussed a lot with a couple people about whether or not, because I don't know if I like it or not. So when you catch a Pokemon, so for example, in Pokemon, every Pokemon evolves at a certain level. So for example, Mudkip evolves at 16. Like all the starters evolve at 16. Then they evolve again at 32, right? Regardless of when you catch it. So when you catch a Mon at level 15, it's going to evolve at 16. For a Temtem, it's not a specific level. It's the number of levels that it has gained since it's been caught. So if a Mon takes, like for example, one of the early Mons, it needs eight levels. So if I catch it at level 98, or sorry, if I catch it at level 90, it's going to evolve at level 98. But if I catch it at level 2, it's going to evolve at level 10.
That is a terrible system.
What? Why?
They try to
listening to
differentiate themselves from Pokemon so hard that it hurts themselves.
Well, the one differentiation that I saw on Twitter that I was like, oh, that actually seems kind of cool is I think it's like the skill points that replace PP, because to me, like,
Stamina's good. That's the best
thing. I never
thing.
needed 32 stealth
Yeah,
rocks,
stamina
right?
makes plenty of sense competitively.
Yeah, stamina's way better. Like if Pokemon was going to eventually go that route with PP and just have one, mass, I almost said one huge PP, but I got to pause. But if they had like one huge stamina meter that you could just pull from, I think that would
It took way too long to react to that.
I was gonna ignore it, like,
yeah, that's fine.
But so that mechanic is like, those two mechanics make it increasingly difficult. So it's kind of what Zeph was saying. It incentivizes people to cheat. So a big exploit that I was seeing is that what happens is that people would like either advance through the game or get to a certain part, and they will manipulate the game to make it so that Pokemon, when you caught them or when you caught or when they appeared in the wild, would be a lower level. So a Pokemon that would be naturally caught between level 15 and 20, we would make it like level 2. So because it evolves based on the number of levels it gains.
That's so trash. Why did they do
that? That sounds garbage.
So you would just people would just be like, I'm just gonna make this one level 2, and that'll be easy as shit to evolve it because it'll be level 2. So that was another big exploit that I was seeing a lot. That mechanic, I'm not necessarily sure that I personally like. I think obviously a level number is better, but I'm not sure that I like that mechanic is whatever to me. But the problem with that mechanic is the fact that it takes so long to level anything in that game. It's a grind. You can't have both. You can't make it so that it takes me 8 levels. Like the starter. The starter for fucking that you get one of the starters here. I have it here because I could not believe It takes 30 levels. 30 levels until you evolve the starter. Until you evolve the starter Pokemon. So that means it's not going to evolve until level 35 to the first stage or whatever. Fuck. Like it's insane. And again, that mechanics itself I don't hate. It's the fact that it's in conjunction with the fact that it takes me 85 years to level.
Yeah, it's everything together.
It's everything together. Now, they're obviously, I've been playing the game a fair amount and I'm streaming it a fair amount, and there are certain things that I really like about the game and prefer to Pokemon. Like, to be honest, like the difficulty is exactly what I want it to be. Maybe it's a little too hard in some areas, but in general, like it's the battle system itself is way better.
Oh yeah,
like,
I already know that. That's why that's what initially caught my eye.
Right. The stamina system is inevitably better, especially for competitive, because it just
it makes your resources matter.
Well, no, because it also like PowerPoints are not a resource.
I know they're pretty much infinite, bro. Like you never worry about running out of them.
Like why do I need 20 protects? Like why do I need that? So that system is infinitely better. I honestly think if they just balance, and the thing about that game that I respect a lot is that they're very transparent with all the things that they're doing. They're patching the game 3 to 4 times every day. You can tell.
Wow!
So like they're putting in patches, whether it's fixes or hot bug fixes or UI changes or anything like that. Like they are just consistently going in because it's a combination of other things, but it's a smaller team, so they have the resource. They have the people dedicated to that one thing. That's like their one thing. So if that game is competitive, I'm about it because again, the battling is OD and I really like it. But all the Temtems, the design are kind of trash. Like the art style, I don't really mess with, but the music slaps. Not even gonna lie, the music. Not even gonna hold you. The music kind of bumps.
The music's good.
The music.
The visuals are just not good. Like the people are so ugly.
The fucking Thames themselves are ugly as fuck.
Some of them are clean.
Some of them, yes. I'd say it's like a handful.
Y'all saw that magnet guy? He's clean.
A small handful
magnet
are pretty
guy.
cool.
I haven't seen that.
No, this guy's clean. Where he
I'd say a good 90% of them fucking trash.
This guy. This guy. Oh,
what is that? It looks like Deku mixed with. I don't know what he looks cool.
I'm not putting this on my screen, bro.
No, I fuck with this guy.
Oh, he's cool too. He looks really cool.
He looks like a Mega Man enemy boss.
Yeah.
The thing that Tito posted kind of looks like a Luigi's Mansion.
That's far-fetched, bro. That's far-fetched. That's not even. That's far-fetched killing a Shelder and putting the Shelder on his head. That's what that thing is.
Yeah.
They're not even trying with that one. That's clearly far-fetched.
That's not even Shelder. It's like a Clamperl, bro.
Oh, Clamperl. That's right. That's the one I was thinking of. But
here for your so you can put this on stream, Shofu. Just some samples of all of them. Some of these
I'm gonna be real. I thought some of those were from Rivals of Ether.
Some of these Thames are fucking dick sauce, bro. I'm sorry.
No. Wait. These aren't things that evolve into these two, the wind ones. That pig doesn't evolve into that bird, does it?
No.
Okay, good. I was gonna be like, that makes no sense.
That pig is hilarious. But I mess with the shark. I like this shark guy. The samurai chick. That's the what do you call it?
Does that mushroom have basketball titties? What is that thing?
Those are his hands. Those are his hands, bro.
Yo,
you really horny, bro. You horny, bro. That boy Roger is horny, bro.
This is ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
I respect it, man.
That's what it looked like. I'd never seen this thing before. I didn't know what type it was. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, melee. Man.
All right, I'm gonna reveal this. I'm gonna reveal this right now. I'm gonna tell you guys why. I'm gonna tell you guys why I'm like this today. Because, and this is very relevant to the past couple episodes, Funimation has officially.
Yo, talk to him, please. Talk to him. Yes, I know where he's going. Yes, talk to him, bro. Interspecies reviewers, why'd they drop it? They should have known what it was.
So the official press release for Interspecies reviewers reads as follows. After careful consideration, we at Funimation have determined that this series falls outside of our standards. We have the utmost respect for our creators, so rather than substantially alter the content in the anime, we felt taking it down was the most respectful choice. Now, Shofu, can we finally explain to people what this anime is about?
All right,
it's porn.
No.
It's not porn. It's very close to porn. Now, you know what I'm saying?
How are you gonna say it's not porn? It's straight up porn.
It's not porn, bro. The line between ecchi and porn is very close. shows.
Look,
What is
Shofu's
that?
gonna give you a gas version. Shofu's gonna give you
It's paper thin, my boy. It's paper
so take out
thin.
your notebook. Right, take out your notebook. So Shofu gonna give you a gas
Yep.
version, okay?
All right, let's hear it.
This,
Look,
this
the
will be
show-
on the test.
The show is just about. It's like you know what I'm
Just
saying.
about?
You seen Yelp before? You know what I'm saying? You see Yelp, you know what I'm saying? You're looking for some nice food to eat in the area, you know what I'm talking about? You hop on Yelp, you see what people have said about these restaurants. It's the same thing. They go to these fucking brothels, they fuck, and then they write a review, bro. It's very simple. It's the same shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now.
These boys detrimentally horny.
Shofu and I do a podcast for anime, and he was insistent that we talk about this, so I have to watch this weekly. Okay, and this is the worst decision I've ever made because I watch all my anime during lunch at work. I
That
can't
shit
watch
is
this at work.
fire, bro. That's the best anime out. Yes, sir. That's the best anime out, bro.
Okay? I cannot watch this at work. I gotta watch this in a locked room, so no one can ever see me watch it ever in life.
Nah, man. If you were a real one, you would watch it at work. You just put
fire though.
If you're a boss,
That's it. That's it. And then your boss asks what's going on. You say it's for work. That's it.
But how
You say it's my side gig. That's it.
What I don't understand, how did Funimation drop it because it's not up to their
It's
standards?
because the way I guess the way their process for localizing stuff, I don't know how it works. Apparently the manga is way less
Fucking.
No, it's
yeah,
not.
it's
No, it's not.
that's what I heard. I heard that the manga is less explicit, like after a certain
Maybe.
a certain point.
Yeah, okay, that's facts.
So they were like, oh, like they only read a certain bit, and they're like, okay, yeah, let's pick this up. And
doesn't
then
make any
they got
sense.
to fucking, and
Do
they
they
were like,
not?
oh shit.
Do they not watch the shit before they put it on their website?
I guess not. I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense.
Bulge in this anime.
So I'm assuming there must have been something because I feel like they had to have done research on the series before they actually licensed it.
Right.
What happened in the last episode? Was there some wild thing that happened? What happened
In the last episode?
Go ahead.
in the last episode?
They went to a succubus place. These are like the way they justify the shit is that all these brothels, all these species, they have a small amount of succubi blood or whatever in their fucking, I don't know, some bullshit. With the last episode, the one that came out yesterday or on Saturday, they went to like a actual succubus place and they got fucked and they were out for 3 weeks because they couldn't recover. Oh, the episode before that? Oh, they turned into girls and got
Wait, what?
I just
Nah, go ahead, Joe. This is your shit. Go ahead, tell them what happened.
Episode 3, they turned into girls and they got plowed, bro. they turned themselves. They went to a brothel where you sex change, and they was on the receiving end for once. They were trying to experience some new shit, bro. That shit was mad sus. I ain't even gonna lie, bro.
and then just for context, that episode we all watched that episode, individually throughout the day, and then later that night, without anyone saying anything to him, Shofu puts in the group chat, Interspecies Review is the greatest anime of all time.
Of all time, bro.
That's when I stopped claiming Shofu.
Interspecies Review is the best.
Work. Oh,
What
shit.
the fuck?
Who brought in?
Who did that?
The escalator doesn't work, man, and I had to walk up the
What?
stairs. Oh,
What?
No, this has to
Wait.
stop.
There's no
Wait, no,
what's
stop.
going on?
Where are you right now? Where are you, Doge?
Under an underpass
What the?
next to the train.
You driving?
No, I'm walking.
What?
I'm walking over here.
Yeah, literally. Oh God.
Okay.
Hello?
Roger, please.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
That's the last time we ever got that. Ever. Apparently, that's the last time we're ever gonna hear that.
Somebody help her. Somebody help her, bro. Damn it.
Gone.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's the best place to end this episode. I feel like that's the best. You can't. There's no better ending to this episode than that. Interspecies Reviewers and Purebred Doge and Underpass. That's it, guys.
Nice.
That's the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Time.
That's it. Thanks for joining us, Bam. This was a lot of fun. You're welcome back
was.
anytime.
Definitely will do.
Next episode, hopefully we'll be back with whoever else is licensing interspecies reviewers. It won't be next year. It'll be next week because there's probably going to be a Nintendo Direct. Who knows? All right. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Goodbye.
See ya.